It's time for Waking Up with Wesley. Today's forecast and weather-wide discussion with WLOX First Alert Weather's senior meteorologist, Wesley Williams.
Waking Up with Wesley is sponsored by Bob Boyd Chevrolet in Biloxi. Buy a Chevrolet the Bob Boyd way.
Hello there, South Mississippi, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. So this morning, a lot of sunshine across the area. You're looking at the satellite and first alert radar, but it's not sunny everywhere. Look at where there was some cloud cover showing up during the 8 o'clock hour, very close to Waveland, Bay St. Louis, past Christian, areas near Diamond Head, and Dido also seeing some of that. I should say DeLille rather. We actually have a few cameras that we can take a quick look at. Let's see if the MDOT cam and past Christian. This is by Highway 90 looking west toward Bayview Street, west at Bayview Street. And we do have some kind of fog in that area. We've been seeing it at least at times this morning. Looks like it's starting to lift though, so that's good news there. We actually also have another camera. This is at the Silver Slipper Casino. Looks like it's a bit worse there on the coast of Hancock County to the west of Bay St. Louis. As you can see, quite a bit of low visibility this morning. That's been a spot where we've noticed very foggy weather for pretty much this entire morning. So while many of us have cleared, not all of us. Here's one spot that has cleared, Biloxi by Back Bay. It's a pretty cool time lapse that I want you to watch. We'll take that full screen so you can see the change from 4 o'clock this morning when it was foggier to 6, 7 o'clock this morning where it's starting to clear. And now some sunshine during the 8 o'clock hour on Wednesday morning. So it's already starting to look like a beautiful day along the Mississippi coast. But in that bottom left screen, you can see Biloxi facing west. Biloxi Beach facing west. There is that kind of cloud layer off to the west of Harrison County that is causing some cloudiness closer to past Christian, closer to Bay St. Louis, Waveland. So let's switch gears and talk temperature. It's already off to a pretty mild start. Temperature 60s this morning, although there's been some nuance. It's been slightly cooler George County, slightly warmer Hancock County. As we go to the afternoon, the warmest spots are expected to be north of Interstate 10. So there will be a difference between lower 70s, Waveland, Gulfport, Biloxi, south of I-10, and around 80 for places like Saucier, Wiggins, and Perkinston and such. So just keep that in mind this afternoon. Certainly warmer, and the warmest air is expected to be mainly to the north of Interstate 10. We can take a look at the forecast for today as well as for tonight, because once we get past today's spring warmth and humidity, we're back into the muggies going into tonight, and it's not going to cool off very much at all. 60s expected and another possible round of fog overnight into early Thursday. One thing you don't find a lot of is a rain chance. We haven't had any rain all month, and for the year, we're actually running a 6-inch rain deficit. We only have 3 inches of rain for the year, when we should have almost 10. So that's more than 6 inches, more than 6.5 inches of rain deficit for 2026. No surprise that we find a drought across much of South Mississippi. The higher the level of drought, the more impacts that are seen. And for most of us, it's only a level 1 drought, although we are starting to see a higher level closer to Lucedale, Mobile, and areas north of Lucedale. You zoom out and you see that for the state of Mississippi, it's actually not that bad once you get into the Pine Belt. I guess it's a little worse near Natchez, but not that bad in Jackson. And then it gets a little worse closer to Memphis. So a variety of drought conditions across our state. Needless to say, it would be nice to get some rain to help alleviate those drought concerns. You take a look at the rain potential next 3 days, we're not even going to get an inch of rain. So not a lot of relief in sight in the short term. Today, hardly any rain. Tomorrow and tomorrow night, light rain if any at all. Friday and Friday night, hit or miss showers are a possibility, but again, that color on Friday night is still green. So light amounts are expected if we see any at all on Friday and Friday night. Now what I want to do is zoom out and show you the map for the entire region here. And it's easy to see where the rain bullseye is located off to our north and west over Texas, Arkansas, Illinois, and even northern Mississippi. So that heavy rain bullseye is going to stay northwest of us, northwest of coastal Mississippi over the next 7 days. Now, that doesn't mean we stay completely dry here, but it just seems like most of the system rain, like continuous rain, big blobs of rain on radar, that stuff not going to come our way. The type of rain we would see here in coastal Mississippi probably would just be kind of like some pop-up showers with a few rumbles of thunder associated with that as well, as the worst rain generally stays northwest of us. So what's going on? Why can't we get the heavy rain here? Well, there's a strong ridge of high pressure that's been centered over the southeastern part of the country. And that has been blocking these rain systems from coming our way. It doesn't completely block the rain chance because you can get a pop-up shower or storm off the Gulf. The air is warm enough, the air is humid enough, you can get a pop-up shower. But those continuous areas of rain that we show you here on satellite and radar, you can see them. Look at those large areas of rain over Missouri. You know, that's not going to be able to come down here to the Gulf. It's got to go up and around that ridge of high pressure that's across the southeast. So when we show you basically the storm track, it's staying north of us. The southeastern high pressure is blocking those larger clusters of rain associated with systems from coming down here. So they got to go up and around the ridge, and that just kind of keeps us high and dry down here, other than just a few pop-up showers that might occur right off the Gulf. And like I said, today the chance for that fairly low, but we will get into some better chances down the line. One thing this is going to do is it's going to, the reason why you saw that heavy rain bullseye with extreme rain amounts over the plains is because the storm system is stuck there. It can't really advance eastward like it wants to because that high pressure is blocking the flow. So you have a traffic jam in the atmosphere, and all of those weather systems that are causing the showers and storms are just sitting still over the plains day after day, producing a multi-day rain threat and a multi-day severe thunderstorm threat for places in the plains. Here's today and tonight's severe thunderstorm threat. Nothing for us because high pressure is blocking it from getting here. But you can see Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, level 2 out of 5 severe weather threat. There's Thursday and Thursday night, another level 2 severe weather threat, parts of the southern plains near Texas and Oklahoma. And then here's Friday and Friday night, the level increases to 3 out of 5. So an enhanced risk of severe weather, things like tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. All of those on the table for our neighbors in the plains, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri. So a multi-day severe threat, as well as a multi-day flooding rain threat for them. But we've got high pressure that's going to keep that type of weather away from us here in South Mississippi, at least through the rest of this week, at least through this weekend. But I do think that maybe that system gets just a little bit closer. It's a slow-moving plains frontal system, and it may just get a little bit closer to us as we go to the weekend. So while we're probably not going to see any rain directly associated with that system, I do think the lift ahead of it might help to increase the coverage of pop-up showers and storms along the Gulf Coast region. Now, like I said, the heaviest stuff stays north of us. As you saw, the bullseye doesn't touch us. But locally, we could get into basically a 30 to 50% chance for some pop-up showers and storms in South Mississippi and near South Mississippi at times on Saturday, Saturday night, Sunday night. You want to be super technical about it. Today's information is leaning more so toward a slightly higher rain chance Sunday, maybe a slightly lower rain chance Saturday, but there's so much uncertainty in this that there's really no point in really getting too detailed about it right now, because it's hard to tell exactly where those pop-up showers and storms are going to pop up. And then once we get past the weekend, that frontal system will eventually move a little bit more to the east, but it kind of falls apart over the high pressure because it loses its upper support, and that high pressure basically just makes it fall apart. So we're now looking upstairs in the air at the pattern that drives what happens on the surface map that we just showed you. So above the surface high pressure, there's an upper high pressure. Above that front that's over Arkansas, there's an upper trough that's denoted by that red L. And, you know, again, that red L would like to just come straight on from west to east, but with that blocking high here, that low, that trough, that it has to basically go up and over the ridge of high pressure. There's going to be another one that comes down, and I think that could possibly actually affect our weather next week. It's going to be stuck near Baja California this weekend because the high pressure ridge just expands across the southeastern part of the country. But keep an eye on that L over Baja California, because while it is kind of stuck over there early next week, eventually by the middle of next week it does start to move. Watch the movement. See, by Tuesday it's already east of Baja California, and then by next Wednesday it's even farther east, moving closer to Oklahoma and Arkansas. And with that plane system for the middle of next week, I do think it has a better chance to continue moving eastward and maybe bring us a storm threat followed by a cool down. But that's more than 7 days away from the present day, so there's quite a bit of uncertainty baked into that. We'll keep an eye on it, but at this point in time, it's a little too early to say with certainty if we'll get that better storm threat around next Wednesday, and if we will certainly get that cool down around next Thursday, Friday. But it is something to watch. You can see on the coast, maybe we go down to 48 degrees by next Friday, the 13th morning. Inland areas, maybe they go down to 44 degrees next Friday, the 13th, next Friday morning. So something to keep an eye on in the long range forecast, but at least in the next 7 days, it looks like it's hard to come by any type of meaningful cool down. Well, that'll do it for today's edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you again next time.
Waking Up with Wesley has been sponsored by Bob Boyd Chevrolet in Biloxi. Buy a Chevrolet the Bob Boyd way.